Okay, I did this twice now. Well, I did it a bunch of times, but I kept screwing up. And then I got a good one, and then I realized that the video itself screwed up. So I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. I figured out how to create a portal, and it was really easy. It's just that I didn't see it. It's one of those things where you look at it too much and you get yourself all sorts of confused, and then you look at it again a few days later and it's perfectly like, oh yeah, 15 minutes. So yeah, but there's a three-step process here. You create an object, you create a spell, and you create a spell location. You just got to link all those together. It's not hard. There are the spell itself, I don't think you need to put into the database, just into the DBC file. But I do both just so there's consistency. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to find the game object. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to do a select all from game object template where name like quote percent portal 2% quote, then F9 to run it. Let's see if I can fix this a little bit better. The chords are everywhere. Okay, so when you run that, you should get a whole bunch of different portals here. There are four fields really, but three important ones. The entry, the type, and the data 0. And of course the name, whatever, name it whatever you want. But the entry is the entry in the database, so you can't have duplicates, right? So every new item needs to have its own ID. Easy enough, right? The type is spellcast. I dug through a lot of documentation to find that one. There are a lot of different types. Display ID is what that looks like. Since we're just going to be copying portal to Dalaran, it's just going to look like a portal. You can make it any display ID you want. You can make it the Lich King model, I think, if you want to. And then the size is just the size of the object. And then data 0 is actually the spell. Okay. So what you want to do, I have a hard time with IDSQL today, making new entries manually. So I've been copying the SQL out. So let's find portal to Dalaran. There's one. See, that's a different type. See, it's 5. That's not a spell. So we need to find one with the spell. There we go. And we're going to do right click, copy as, SQL insert. And then I already have it here. And I just pasted it there. Okay. So we got that. Now we want to do spell. Where. Okay, so, all right. Let's stop for a second. This data 0 is the spell. So we'll just copy that too. So we want to do where select all from spell where ID equals that number. And this gives us the number of the spell. Okay. So we're going to right click on that and select copy as, SQL insert, and then paste it in your Notepad++. I have it here already. And now what we want to do, there's a table in here. This is the part I was missing. There's a table in here called spell underscore target position. Okay. So we just want to do a select all from spell target position. where ID equals the same number. So we're just going to run that. And we got the spell, the effect, XYZ, and all that. Okay, so we want to right click on that, copy as, SQL insert, and then paste that into your notepad. Okay, so we got the three things there we really need. Okay, we're just going to leave that alone. Then we're going to go to spell.dbc editor. And you're going to do, I'm going to actually change this so you can read it without me moving the camera and stuff around. There we go. Now the text is still a little bit small, but if you full screen it, you'll hopefully see it. Okay, so we're going to do a search. And we type in that spell number again, or just paste it in. Oops, no, that's not going to work. But anyway, you take that spell number here and then put it in there and then do a search. And then you wait. And then you wait some more. And then you have it. Okay, so you got a portal to Dalaran here. All right. So I did this twice already, so I'm just going to do the same thing again. We're going to do copy line 2. Now this will be different with whatever DBC editor you're using. This one is copy line 2. And I'm going to do 100,000, 0, 0, 100, 1,002. Because the other ones I did were 100,000 and 101,001. So, and there we go, puts it in. And we have everything we need here. We just want to scroll over to spell name. I think it's spell name 0, or is it just, nope, it's 137. Okay. And we're going to do portal to GM Island yet again. We're just testing doing the same thing over and over again. Well, I am. This will be the only one you see. So, and that's it for that. We don't need to make any other changes in here. So we're just going to go to save. Okay, that's done. And we're just going to minimize that for now. And now what we need to go do is in our SQL query is for the object, we want to scroll over, and under values, this would be the entry ID for the object in the database. It can't be duplicated, so you have to create a new one each time. Since I've done 800,000 and 800,001, I'm going to do 800,002. Pick a number scheme that works best for you. Change the name to portal to island yet again. And this 101,000, that's the data 0 field in the database. So we're going to change that to 2 since that's the new spell. Okay, that one's ready to go. Under the spell query, we just want to scroll over until we find values. This is a very long query, so it might take a while. There we are. And the first one's the ID, the spell ID. We're going to just change that to 101,002. We'll scroll over a little bit more until you see the spell name. Go to GM Island yet again. And that's all for that one. Yep. And then under target location. Now here's where you get tricky. So we need to get the GPS coordinates. So to get the GPS coordinates, you log into your game. Oops, log into your game. Go where you want to go. So I'm here right now. And we want to tele to GM Island. Okay, here I am. And we're going to pick right here on this rock. Okay. So we want to do, let me move this over so you can see the whole command. .gps and it gives you all your information. So what you want to do, just make this, oh, come on computer, do what I want. Okay, so it says you're outdoors. What you want is map 1. That's what map this is on, so we'll do map 1. The X position right underneath map 1 is oops, X equals 16201.323242. The Y is 16255.333008. And the Z is 20.979.809. The orientation, that's just what way you're facing. If you don't care, just whatever. But if you do care, it is 0.377724. Okay, so we're done with that. We got what we need. Quit. All right. And now we go back into, we're going to write this query. So the ID, you want to make it the same as the spell ID, which was 101,002. Oops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hit my insert button. Let's just go back here. And where is my insert button? I can't even remember where they put them. There it is. Okay, so that's 2. The effect index needs to be 0. For whatever last video I had, I spent 10 minutes trying to figure out what was wrong, and this was because I had it at a 1. Make sure it's 0. I screwed up and saw the map ID and boogered it up. So map is 1. And the X, you just copy this and then paste it right in there. And then the Y is the next field. And then just paste that in there over top. And a small change to the numbers will really make a huge difference, so be careful. Just copy the Z. And the orientation. Okay, so what we have in here is we have our object, the spell associated to that object, and the location associated to that spell. All right. And like I said, the spell is in the spell.dbc as well, but I just like to put it into the database so that I have consistency. So since we already got the DBC built, we're just going to double check our query. Insert template ID. Okay, that looks good. Values. Again, so our object is 800,002. Our spell is 101,002. Perfect. Then we go to values for the spell. Is 101,002. Great. And the portal, again, the name's good. Okay, and on the query for the location, we have ID the same as the spell ID, 0, 1 for the map, 16,201 for the X, 16,255 for the Y, and 20 for the Z orientation, 0.33. Okay, so we're good. So now you just copy the query. You go back into your database, do a new query, paste, and then hit F9 to run. And if it works, if it works, down here at the bottom, you'll see affected rows. Good. If it's broken, it'll say, uh-oh, you broke me. Okay, so that one worked. Now I just go to the spell, copy, tab back in, Control A, Control V, Control A, Control A, Control V. There we go. You run. Affected rows 1, good. And location, copy. Control A, Control V, run. Affected rows 1. Perfect. Okay. So now, let's see. I don't think we created the patch file yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I don't even know if I saved this. Let's go ahead and do that again. And I think I might have screwed something up, so let me just check here. 2. I think I screwed up the 2. Come on. Yep, no, I got the numbers right. All right, I thought I associated the wrong spell. Okay, so save. I think that's saved. A new patch file. Stop the world server. Copy this into the server DBC. Replace. Copy the patch file to the computer. And then go to your cache. And let's start the client up, start the world server. Let's stop the auth too. I've been stopping the auth when I stop the world server, just because no reason. I just do it. It doesn't really affect anything, I don't think. Yeah. So I think I got everything right so far, but we're going to find out in just a moment. And if it doesn't work, I'll show you how to test it. Even if it does work, I'll show you how to test it. That way you can tell where the problem is if you screw up. Okay, test. My password's test, by the way. I think you need to know that. Okay, so I'm on GM Island now. We want to get the Goldshire just to get away. Here we are. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and bring this object into the game. So we're just going to make it a temporary object. So I click on it once and then it goes away when I'm done. So .gObject for the command, and then do add. I'm going to do temp, so it goes away. And we did 800,002, right? Yep. Okay, there's the portal. And then just right click, and I'm on GM Island. Holy hell, it worked the first try. All right. Oh, what's that down there? Portal Master. Okay. The Portal Masters here, the wonderful people who made this repack, put a lot of Portal Masters around and a lot more cool things in there. So tell it a GM Island if you're using this repack. There's a lot of cool stuff. Okay, so we're just going to go back to Goldshire. And you see that portal I created is now gone, right? Which is what I wanted in this case. So let's say you get the portal up. Okay, the portal's there, but you click on it and nothing happens. To test to make sure you did your spell right, you just do a .cast and then the spell number. So in this case, it'd be 101.002. Okay, your spell's good. If it comes up, if the spell pops and says cannot find spell, that means it's not in your spell.dbc file, or you didn't copy the patch over, didn't make the patch, didn't copy it over, something like that. If it doesn't give an error, it just stares at you, that means, most likely, that in your database, under spell target position, the effect index might be set to 1. Change that to 0, and it'll work. You just go back, you restart the service, delete your cache, blah, blah, blah. Go back in and cast spell 100, 1002. Let's see, what else might break? If you do the go object or G object add, and it comes up and says you can't find it, that means you didn't create the object. Go back and try again. So yeah, that's that. I think that's easy to understand. I'll copy my queries in the description below. Just make sure you change the numbers. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Let's paste it in. You just need to change the numbers and the names for what you want. The numbers you need to change are the object ID, change to whatever number scheme you're using, the spell IDs in both the spell.dbc and the spell table and the spell transport, spell target position. So you need to change those, and then you need to change the map X, Y, Z and orientation numbers to wherever you want to teleport to. And to get those numbers, like I said, you just do a .gps, and that gives you the numbers. Let's see, what else? Oh, if you want to make sure the object stays, you do .gObject add, and then just the number. And if I click on it, we'll go back to Goldshire. It's still there. And it should stay, if you restart the server, it should stay there. But if you want to get rid of it, you stand next to it, put your arrow over it or something along those lines, and you do gObject. Okay, you can see that tar. It'll come up and say portal to GM Island again. So then you could just do .gObject remove or delete, and then it goes away. It's that simple. Like, share, subscribe. I noticed that a good 75-80% of the people that view my stuff, which is not a lot, but so, you know, out of the 4 people that viewed this, only 1 of them was subscribed. So yeah, if you want to see more of this, do the subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to see more of all my videos.